Hey guys, it's Chris, and me and my buddy Wes, we're fixing to do squirrel and dumplings over an open fire with cast iron.
Earlier that day, I was in a panic. I had to find enough squirrels to make this dumpling, and I was about 5 short. We've got to kill some squirrels. So let me tell you what's going on. We have potluck at church every Tuesday night, right before Bible study. And so Chris and I are wanting to cook in Dutch ovens and make this awesome squirrel dumpling. But I don't have enough squirrels. I mean, I've got like 4, and I think it's going to take close to 10 to make this dumpling for everybody. So we got to kill like 6 more squirrels today. That's the objective. If we don't kill them, we can't have the squirrel dumplings at the potluck. So the first morning out, I only killed 1 squirrel. And I mean, I'm really starting to get into a panic. So on the second day, I go out and I need 5 more squirrels. That's what I needed, 5 more to make this dumpling. This is my buddy Chris. He's the one that's going to be making the dumplings for us. He likes cooking and even competes using the cast iron skillets. He's like my only famous friend. Well, sounds like a dang machine gun going off. Dude started running, and he was getting more and more in the open, but was gonna get in the thick again. Guys, guess what? That is fire. What you got there, Chris?
It's a wood splitter.
Check that out.
Much easier.
Chris has got our firewood cut, and the fire is roaring. Now we've got to let it burn down to just coals so that we can put the pot on and start to cook. Well, Chris and I have about got that fire looking right. And listen, here's what else we got going on. Kill shot coffee.
Kill shot coffee.
Man, you're going to get out here and the temperature is kind of cool. You need coffee. Chris is going to cook this over an open fire too. Show us how you're going to do it, Chris.
This is our coffee pot. It's full of kill shot coffee. We're just gonna set it right there on them flames and give it about 15 minutes, and it should be percolating and ready to drink. The coffee's ready. It's been maybe 5 or 10 minutes, if that long. You get the right fire, and it don't take long. Just let it perk for. All depends how strong you like your coffee. I usually do 3 or 4 minutes. Some people like it stronger, but the longer you cook it, the stronger it's gonna get. So now we're fixing to put these squirrels in this water, and we're gonna boil them down. Let the meat get cooked good, and then we're gonna let them cool off and come back and get all the bones and what shot we can find out, and then we'll start adding our little different things, our seasonings and stuff, to make some squirrel and dumplings. Hey guys, you want to try that Kill Shot coffee? We're going to leave a link below where you can get you some, and we'd appreciate it if you try it out. It's pretty good stuff.
Lock, load, and brew. Chris is one of my very good friends, and he's also a Christian brother. And you know, there's not much better than to stand around with a good friend, a Christian brother, and to have a great cup of coffee.
Well, guys, I think our squirrels getting the boiling. Oh yeah, yeah.
Now we've got the squirrel boiled down to the point that if we pour off all the broth and we just let the squirrel sit out and cool a little bit, we should be able just to pull the meat right off the bones and then place the meat back into the broth. Well, you don't even have to pour it. You can just use your hands. Pour them out.
There we go.
All right, that's good.
Oh yeah. Like we know what we're doing. Add some chicken bouillon in there. It says 2 for 3 or 4 squirrels, but we're gonna put more than that in there.
The crap is a bouillon.
Huh?
What the crap is a bouillon? Broth, also known as bouillon, is a savory liquid made by simmering meat, fish, or vegetables in water for a short time. It's thinner than stock and doesn't gel when refrigerated.
Cube of chicken gravy, I guess. Gives it flavor. You can get it in chicken, beef, pork. Alright, we'll let that go for a little while, and eventually we're gonna add some onion and some dumplings and get that to boiling again and cook that for a while. And when we do that, by the time that's done, the squirrel will be cool enough to debone, and then we'll add it back to it and let it simmer for about 30 or 40 minutes. Alright guys, we're fitting to add some onions in there. You don't really have to, but give it some more flavoring. Let them simmer for a while. Boy, I wish I had a knife this sharp. Alright, I'm just going to dump it right in there. That's what, 3? Well, Another ingredient, got some flour, like 4 tablespoons of flour, half a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, and half a teaspoon of pepper. Shook it up in this little baggie that I used. I just reused my tortilla bag, and we cut these tortillas up like this. This is going to be our dumplings. We're going to slowly but gradually add them into here, and we're just going to shake them up, get them coated, kind of like doing a fish fry. And then when we get all these good and coated, we're going to dump them in that broth from the squirrel, and we're going to cook them for about 20 minutes. Let them get good and cooked, and then we're going to add the squirrel, and then just kind of kick it back and let it simmer, and then it should be ready to rock and roll. Plus that flour is going to give it that gravy type.
Make sure you're feeling for shot.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to go back to it in again.
Guys, just so y'all know, some of these were killed with a shotgun, and they still may have shot in them.
So eat carefully. Some of you old timers like with the head on it, but I can't quite do that. But
my grandpa used to eat them with heads on them.
But the old timers, a lot of them couldn't go to the grocery store. They had to live off the land and make do with what they had.
Invite the family over, didn't they?
Yep.
They'd all kill a hog and come over and eat together. Look at there, fellas. Nice.
Dumplings are ready. And they got a little smell to them. They smelling pretty good. Squirrel. We're also known as tree rat. I'll dump all that in there. Get all them goodies out of there. I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes, let it simmer, and we'll see what it tastes like.
Well, I told y'all that we had to get these squirrels in order for us to have the dumplings at the church. Man, we made it just in time, and we just about now got everything that we need to take back up to the church. He does a lot of cooking too. He actually cooks on some competitions, and he does a really good job. He wins some stuff, right? Well, guys, I'm going to tell you, I don't think it gets much better than this. Man, I got a chance this morning to get out and do some squirrel hunting. And Chris told me how many squirrels we had to have, and I just barely pulled it off by the hair of my chinny chin. But we got back here, and Chris met me, and we made Chris has made a big pot of dumplings. We're going to use it for the midweek Bible study at the church and feed everybody. I can't wait for that. That's going to be so much fun. And as we sit here, I thought about, man, well, just share devotion since we're here, Chris.
Amen.
And one of the things that we've been studying in the scriptures, we've been studying the book of Hosea. And listen, this is crazy. God told Hosea that he needed to marry a whore. Can you imagine that? I mean, in my mind, I'd be like, God, are you sure this is you talking to me? I mean, and anyway, and the whole reason that he wanted to do that, because he wanted to show how obviously how the children of Israel were living. God had given them everything. When God brought them out of bondage in Egypt, and he brought them across the wilderness there, and he brought them in, finally 40 years later gets them into the promised land, because not because of him, but because of them. He gets them in the promised land. Guys, when they moved into the promised land, they had everything. Man, they moved into houses that already had the picket fence. When they went into the kitchen, there was already bread and oven. Y'all know I'm just kind of joking there, but the point is everything was already laid out. The fields had already had the rocks out. Crops were already growing. Grapes were ready to be harvested. The sheep and the goats, and I mean, they were already producing young. They had it all. They went from being slaves, having nothing, to just about millionaires.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me. Then you get to the book of Hosea, and they have forgotten everything. They forgot where all that come from. And it was just like Hosea being married to Gomer. She got married to him. There was a covenant made. He paid the bride price to have her. And the next thing you know, she's out sleeping around. She's having kids with people that are not him. And God tells Hosea, take her back. Out of mercy, take her back. Be hard to do, Chris.
Yeah, it would be.
And I just, man, do you ever realize that everything that you have has been given to you by God? I mean, we don't earn anything. God gives it to us, and we're stewards over it. I thought about that as I was out squirrel hunting, and even as we sit right here drinking a cup of coffee and enjoying this day in the smoke. But, man, God gives us everything. And sometimes we get so excited about things in the world that we forget that God has given them to us. And we turn our back on, and we prostitute ourselves out for chasing after the world, and we forget to stop for just a minute and tell Jesus, thank you. So
we take things for granted, you know. Like he said, everything that we have is given to us because of God.
So
if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have anything.
That's right. And so we just wanted to take a few minutes right now as everything is getting finished up, and to tell you first, thanks for watching, and to say that, man, Jesus is master. We love him, and man, we thank him for everything. It sounds crazy, but I thank God for putting those squirrels on that big yacht when the flood came. You hear me?
Okay.
And a turkey too.
Yeah.
And he let them off, and they reproduced. And then this morning, I got to have a good time again out in nature, thanking the good Lord for everything he's done for me. Guys, if y'all don't have a church home, I've already invited you once, but go online to Whispering Pines Cowboy Church. We have a YouTube channel that you can watch. We also have a Facebook channel that you can watch. And man, we'd love for you to join us. Sunday mornings, we come on at 9:30. We have music, and then we have the preaching. Tuesday nights is our midweek Bible study. And on Tuesday nights, our Bible study starts at about 6:30. Hey, when you get on there, do me a favor. Go down in the comments below and let me know that you're visiting because you watched this video. That would be absolutely awesome. I think that would be the coolest thing in the world.
And don't forget that on Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock, we have men's and women's Bible study.
That's right. It's not, we don't have it out there though, but you sure welcome to come. Well, I am Wes. I'm with Untamed Outdoors.
I'm Chris with Arkansas Extreme Outdoors.
And guys, we have brought you this video together. You guys take it easy.
Hope you like it.